Good Friday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the forecast analysis video discussion for this Friday, the 7th of February 2014. Clear skies and snowpack this morning has allowed temperatures to fall to below zero in portions of Sussex County where the winds are calm and skies are clear. Where winds are a little bit up, temperatures are generally running into the teens, which is still quite cold for this time of the year. Temperatures are in the upper teens to low 20s across the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, all through central and southern New Jersey as well. New Jersey and New York surface analysis this morning shows generally clear skies and the winds are light. They're basically from the west or southwest at speeds at less than 5 or 10 miles per hour, and this has allowed sky temperatures to fall this morning, where temperatures are generally a degree or so above zero in many locations and low to mid-teens everywhere else. Dew points are dry and the air is calm. Surface analysis from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software this morning shows the high pressure ridge now across the central portions of the Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley and the Ohio River Valley, building east across the forecast region during the next 24 hours with generally clear skies. Lots of sunshine today, but cold air mass in place. And a westerly flow too, so temperatures may get up above freezing, as they did in a few spots yesterday afternoon as well. And the visible satellite this morning shows plenty of dry air and clear skies over the forecast region at sunrise, with lots of mid and upper level drying across the area too on the water vapor imagery, and just generally very quiet conditions on the radar. There's still a few plumes of moisture coming in from off the lakes here, staying well away from our region as we have a westerly flow, a westerly component to the air mass, which is a very dry and downsloping flow across the region during this morning. And for a refreshing change today, we have absolutely no watches, warnings, or advisories out on the ocean or the land air masses as well. And it's VFR smooth sailing across the region for the aviational deck this morning out of Newark. Temperature 22. The wind is out of the southwest, almost west, at about 8 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour. Visibility better than 10 miles. A few broken clouds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, still with that cirrus at 25,000. Some scattered clouds at 15,000. And basically, right now, Newark is going to forecast for a few scattered clouds throughout this morning and this afternoon, a few scattered clouds this afternoon and evening as well. Into tomorrow morning, some high to broken cloud cover across the region later tomorrow morning as well. Generally, winds will be out of the west at about 10 knots or so, and they'll be diving down under 10 knots or so later this afternoon and tonight, with visibilities better than 10 miles VFR conditions. Philadelphia this morning, temperature 25, a few clouds at 10,000 feet. Sky conditions are overcast this morning there, and temperatures are running generally in the low to the mid-20s. As we go through the forecast period, some scattered clouds this morning, and during this afternoon and evening, just a few clouds at about 4,500 feet. Nice day, west winds at 10 knots or so, gusting, dropping down to about 5 knots during the afternoon. Visibility is better than 10 miles by late tonight and tomorrow morning. Just a few scattered clouds, broken clouds at 25,000. By later tomorrow morning, some overcast conditions developing across the region as a wave of low pressure moves off the Carolina coast, and some of that shield of cloud cover gets up into the region. The winds will turn to generally the northeast or variable in direction at less than 5 knots. VFR conditions still expected across the route through tomorrow. And our active weather pattern continues with our upper level low here across and south of the Aleutian Islands, another upper level low here off the coast of into the Pacific here, and just a stream of moisture coming in now from the Hawaiian Islands and even south along the southern branch of the jet here, the southern branch of the southerly jet and a subtropical jet, and just a plume of moisture now coming into portions of California and Nevada and the west coast, basically southwestern California too. This area has precipitation ongoing right now, and they're in a severe drought in this region. This kind of scenario, and then again disturbances here in the northern polar flow, means that we have a split flow in the pattern and a very active pattern as low pressure develops here across the Four Corners region, drives south towards Texas and then into the Gulf of Mexico, and eventually some of this energy moving into the eastern United States as well. But how much of this phases with northern stream energy determines the kind of forecast that we're going to have for the days coming up. East Coast view, here's our storm system and plume of moisture coming into the California coast and also the Four Corners region here, the Intermountain West. and increase of moisture here across the Gulf Coast region. Just plenty of dry air streaming from west to east across the country in a semi-zonal or quasi-zonal flow across the region, with high pressure at the surface and mid-level levels of the atmosphere, providing dry weather initially for the eastern United States. One of these areas of low pressure here will form off the coast and stay off the South Carolina coast and away from our region this weekend, while energy in the northern stream, Clipper-type systems will continue to drive down through Canada, clipping the northeastern United States with very little in the way of moisture, but still the chance for very light snow episodes. NAMWRF composite reflectivity forecast from Penn State Seawall site. Generally nice weather, but cold weather over the next 24 to 48 hours. Just an increase in high and mid-level clouds across the region on Saturday as that Clipper southern energy really not getting too going here until it gets off the Carolina coast. And notice that today's graphics from the NAM showing the precipitation shield remaining off the coast of the Delmarva and the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area as forecasted, although yesterday it brought a little bit more of this energy into the southern Delmarva region. The last couple of runs through yesterday and this morning pretty much showing the same kind of thing. The NAM hasn't really been spectacular outside of 48 hours, but once inside of 24 hours, it seems to be doing a better job. Here's our Clipper storm coming across with increasing cloud cover on Sunday morning. Saturday night should just clear off a little bit as that wave, the first wave, moves off the Carolina coast and off the mid-Atlantic coast. Here comes the Clipper now in the northern stream, but it drives pretty weak lifting through the region. Maybe just a few scattered spotty snow showers across the region on Sunday afternoon, but nothing really of significance here. And the GFS maps into motion now. Basically high pressure building across the forecast region for today, tonight, and tomorrow. We still have that wave of low pressure shearing out over south of the Carolina coast and may bring some clouds and maybe a little bit of spotty light precipitation to the southern Delmarva region. GFS on the northern edge here, drawing it out pretty much by Saturday early afternoon as that wave goes by. High pressure building in across the region. Here comes the weak Clipper now, not conjoined with the surface low. This could have been quite a storm system, but there's not a lot of phasing here, so this is just a weak Clipper moving through on Sunday afternoon. Maybe some spotty light snow showers across the region. Temperatures over the next couple of days into next week continuing to be 10 to 15 degrees below normal, and we find next Tuesday temperatures generally running in the teens at night and mid and upper 20s to lower 30s over the next couple of days right into early next week. High pressure then begins to build in across the upper Midwest and the East Coast. And underneath that high, we find a system now developing from off the Carolina coast in the southern branch of the jet stream, getting into the plain states by Tuesday of next week. And as we move through in time, it brings some warm air advection and a stream with one area of low pressure developing in the offshore, the Carolinas here, and cold air damming signature in place on Wednesday. Plenty of cold, dry air in place as high pressure is atop of us. It pushes this wave out off the coastline, and the cold air damming just holding on there, but slightly giving way. And now we have another position where we find a low pressure developing in the Gulf Coast states. This is the one that we're talking about for the Wednesday through early Friday storm period. The low now develops off the mid-Atlantic coast states. There's plenty of warming as seen in some of the model thicknesses here across the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, but still the cold air damming situation is still in place with a northeast wind. So this would argue for the fact of some mixed or frozen precipitation during the day on Thursday if this model is correct, and it could be overspreading the region by late Wednesday night in the form of snow and sleet, and then changing over a mixed bag of precipitation. Now the GFS has, obviously at this far in its forecast is forecasting it to move out of our 40-70 benchmark here. Closer to the coast scenario would definitely mean more of a mixed precipitation, and this is something we're going to have to watch because this is originating in the Gulf this time. Pure southern stream energy here. This could be loaded with moisture, and it's something that we're going to have to watch very closely over the next couple of days as the models begin to trend in a better direction. So of course there's no big storm this weekend, but there's plenty of time to argue or plenty of time to analyze the events that may occur next week as well. So for this weekend, it's just going to be a few snow showers across the region on Sunday afternoon with a Clipper, and perhaps some light snow Saturday evening, early Sunday morning across the Delmarva region as the wave of low pressure moves off the Carolina coast. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Remember, live coverage, and of course our Facebook and Twitter feeds on both websites, Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. I'll be back bright and early with you on Monday morning in video form. You have a great weekend and enjoy the weather out there. Bundle up and stay warm.